Welcome to another episode of SwillinGrog's A Wonderful World of Beer. Once again, I'll be reviewing a brew that Gez sent me, VB Gold, 3.5% alcohol by volume, brewed and bottled by Carlton United Breweries in Australia. Now, what more can I tell you about VB Gold? Well, I've never tried it before. Like the Cooper's A Mild Ale, it's a mid-strength beer and equates to exactly one standard drink by Australian standards. And yeah, it's obviously something that's out on the market to compete primarily with 4X Gold that people drink religiously up here in Queensland. So yeah, I think this will be interesting to try. Anyway, without further ado, I think I shall crack this open and make an assessment. So it's a twist top. Alright, so I'll just twist that top off, and gee whiz, it's got a lot of nice smoke coming out of this little stubby bottle here. Alright, so I'll just pour it into this Gez glass that once was nicely chilled. Okay, so I'll pour it just straight down the middle. Alright. Okay, not as active as I thought it would be, as a matter of fact. Anyway, looking at the colour, it's a very clear golden, appearance with a moderate amount of carbonation. There's a disappointing amount of head there, just a fine ring. I think it may have been just a little under a finger when I poured it, but gee whiz, it's dissipated really quickly. There's just a little bit left in the bottle here. I'll just tip that out. Okay, alright, so we've talked about the appearance, so let's move on to the aroma. Alright, not getting a terrible lot. There's faint smell of yeast there, and that stereotypical wet cardboard smell that seems to be quite common in Australian adjunct lagers. Alright, well anyway, that does bring us to the most important part of the review, the taste test. So, a huge cheers to Gez for sending me this brew, and a huge cheers to you, the viewer. Alright, let's dive in. Alright, well, up front, I'm getting some slightly sweet malts. There's just absolutely no bitterness, to report, well, to report of, I should say. Not a terrible lot going on with this brew, and it's very thin-bodied and watery, I'm afraid. Not very much going on at all in the flavour department. Alright, well, I'll have another gulp and see if it improves. Okay, well, it's not really improving much. In fact, it's just tasting, more, watered down as I drink it. Yeah, there's nothing much to it. I mean, it's rather bland. There's no real overly offensive tastes. There's a little bit of a sourness that kind of lingers in the palate, but yeah, it's not terrible. I think the Cooper's Mild Ale is much better than this, and even 4X Gold is better than this, as a matter of fact. All right. What would I say in terms of its drinkability? Well, it's drinkable, but only just. It's certainly something you could session, although I don't think you're going to get much of a buzz from it unless you have half a carton. It's just really weak, like tasting, and I think that I'd be looking for something else, or just maybe drinking water after a few of these. It's just really boring. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap this up and have one last gulp and give it a score out of 10. Alright, well, what can I say? It's pretty bland, pretty tasteless. There's, certainly even in the mid-strength range of beers, there's some better, much better options out there, like the Cooper's Mild Ale or even, 4X Gold. So it's certainly not something that I could recommend to you all. Alright, so what would I give it in terms of a score out of 10? I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10, and that's being kind. Alright, well I must thank Gez for sending me this brew. It was certainly interesting to try, but I don't think that I'd ever go looking for it. So there you go, folks. Another SwillinGrog beer review wrapped up. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, fare thee well, all.